tell agents about or show agents what we're doing, we let them know that we're trying to help you run a full business. Like any business out there, whether you buy a franchise out of the box or a business that you build, you're going to have a front of office and back of office. You have customer facing, and then you have what's going to help you help manage that customer relationship. And that's why it's called a CRM. Obviously, it's up to the individual in this industry to really manage the relationship, but the systems help to maximize that, that value that they bring. So on the front end, the front of office, every agent needs to have their own website. We actually bought search.homes. We would actually love to promote this as a way to overcome some of the Zillow, Realtor.com, type of tendencies that everybody has to go there. But there hasn't, like the NAR hasn't come up with, or even an MLS, a really good solution for that to represent every single agent. Well, I had to build stuff out like this for our loan officers, for example, where every loan officer was kind of like an independent contractor. And we needed to have a website that represented them, not the company. They didn't care about the company. They cared about their representation. So what we love about this is that we can host email addresses and the domains, the subdomains at theirname.search.homes or their name at search.homes if they want to use that, or they can do their vanity URL. But we would love to get, and maybe you can help us know how to, put out there that search.homes could be something that could become known across the United States, especially if we raise enough money. We can promote and advertise this, like a homes.com type of thing, but every single agent can represent themselves through search.homes, right? So the whole site is completely customizable. We've found that most agents, probably 90% of them, will not customize. They just don't even take the time to do it. The 10% will, and there's amazing things that they can do on their own, but most of them don't. And the way that even KV Core, but especially Lofty and others that have such amazing systems, never really put out the best, what they had best out front. I don't know what it is, but they just didn't build out great sites, and they didn't build out great back ends with what they could do. So anyway,
I signed up for their IDX site, and they gave me a site, and it's like, dude, I'm in Montana. I'm not in Palm Beach. Like, these pictures don't work. Yeah. Like, I have to change everything.
Yeah. So we have the capability, and we could even do that where we could create for every region a template that's already in place, and they could just pick which one they want. So that is a possibility as well. We kind of created this as a generic image, but they can put any image they want here, and it's actually very simple. So we even create training videos on, you want to switch this picture out? Here's how you do it. Simple and easy to do, but a lot of people get caught up on simple little things like the size of it. So we have templates in Canva that fit this exact template here, and they can put any picture, and they could even put video in if they wanted to. They can put a bar across the whole screen for searching for homes, or it's here on the right that you see here. But there's certain components that make these good lead gen sites, because if you can't capture leads, then what's your site good for, right? So obviously above the fold on the homepage, which not a lot of people go to, they can search for wherever they want in the area. We teach them how to use their site as a hyperlocal farm website. And most agents don't realize this, that they're not going to compete across their whole market, but they try to. They even drive across the whole market. What we do is tell them, you pick your farm probably best where you live, and then we're going to show you how to make your website so hyper local focused. You'll get 3-4 good leads every single month just from being the agent for your little town or city or whatever that is, right? So we've optimized the site so they can do that, but we have to teach them to customize it, obviously, so that it's for that area. But everything's built for that. We have where they plug in their stuff here, and it's easily done through Canva and other things, but we teach them how to use updated tech like this. You've probably seen this before. This is a 360 camera. So they're showcasing this house in HD quality, but they can scroll around. Have you seen this before?
Kind of like a Matterport?
It's better than a Matterport because the person that's watching it controls it. Well, sorry. So they do that in Matterport as well. Sorry. The difference with this is that I can be in the video and I can talk about all the highlights. I can walk around the house and they can follow me in their Google goggles, or they can do it like this on their phone. They can literally move around and it moves with them as they look around. So we're teaching agents how to do virtual tours now, which we found that through our lead gen, we have a ton of buyers that are clicking on the virtual tour option. And we have agents that are going in there with selfie sticks and Facebook Live, or Facebook, what is it? Anyway, Facebook's version of being able to show a video, and they'll walk around with it, or they'll use their iPhone, right? And they'll do something like that if the other person has an iPhone. And it's choppy if their connection, their wireless connection isn't good, it's just bad. We teach them how to take this camera, which is literally invisible when you're holding it, and you can literally walk around the house, and as the person's following you, they can look up and down and all the way around like this as you're walking around the house with them.
That's crazy.
It's awesome. And then they can put it up on their big screen TV. And you notice I pause it and I go around, or I can keep watching me as I do it. So there's no reason why they can't enjoy and look at that house, and they can put it in full screen view and all that kind of stuff, cast it up on their big screen TV and all that.
That's cool. I like it.
Okay. So, obviously all these things would be customized for them. The hyper local SEO components, we teach them about that. There's blogs, of course, as well in here. And then it has all their social media feeds on the front end. The other thing that we found is that nobody had a really good lead gen component to their website. So we did some research and found what people want in terms of what drives them to a website. So we have these landing pages, like here's all the open houses this weekend in the Wasatch Front.
How are you aggregating that easily?
The system does. It's kind of crazy. They didn't know that we could do this, but basically when you do, it's kind of like putting a hot sheet together, right? I can identify all of those on the MLS that have submitted an open house for their property, and I can put it on the one page. So it's awesome. Right here. So then it says up here, open house weekend, want to do some window shopping this weekend, see below for all the open houses in the area. Save your open house search where you want to shop and get notified when the new open house is listed. This is fun. And then they can literally click in the area that they want to get notified of an open house. If they save their search, then I'm in my database. I now have what they're looking for. It tracks their average price point, what kind of home they want, and I can start feeding them information, and the system can do it itself. And we have an AI built into it to ask them questions. Hey, you want to go look at this house? They might reply back, what's the HOA for that? And it'll answer their question. It is the coolest stuff that we've kind of put together through this Lofty system to help generate leads.
Everything that you're showing me right now is all of this is on the Lofty platform.
Well, it's on our Lofty platform because we built it out. Correct. So basically we took Lofty and then built it on top of that. So we layered it with smart plans, with landing pages and all that. But yes, all of this is built on Lofty.
Cool.
Yeah. So they don't have to get any other system or any other integration or anything like that. So here's all the open houses in the area. Isn't that cool that they can do that? And then they click on it. And then what I love about this is the only system that was smart enough to realize that it's not about the agent. It's about requesting a tour. So now they can come in here and say, yeah, I want a virtual tour, tomorrow at whatever time, schedule a tour. This even integrates with their Google Calendar or their Outlook calendar. So they can even specify when they're available and not. People can literally calendar a showing appointment right from their website, generate
the virtual tour is you with the 360. So you would go over there and do that for them.
That's what we recommend. So that's a part of what we coach is you take that virtual tour over. Imagine you have a buyer that wants to look at 10 different properties.
Oh, it's just so great for people that aren't in the area that are like, hey, I'm going to be coming from California, which is most of our buyers.
Yeah. And it's great. And yeah, they're in Montana ever since Yellowstone, I can imagine.
Dude, it's insane.
Yeah, I bet.
The price has doubled in the 5 years I've been here.
Yeah. Kind of the antithesis of what the whole show was about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so the way this works, though, is then we teach them how to do those virtual tours if they want to do it this way. We've even found that, like in the Salt Lake Valley, we have people coming from an hour away from Ogden or an hour away from Southern Utah or a couple hours from there, and they don't want to drive during the evenings, during rush hour or the weekends. So the agent is literally going and walking properties and having virtual showings for someone that's only an hour away, and they're going through 90% of the properties without making that appointment. That's such an annoying hassle for everyone involved. Literally, the agent can walk through it, show the house, but then they cast it up on their big TV, or we have people that will put the virtual goggles on and literally tour homes from their house with an agent that's out there, with that camera. And we also don't do it live. We have the agent go through each property. So they'll go through 5 or 6 properties at once, right? And it takes them 15 minutes to walk through a property with this. Then they'll go home, do a Zoom call, and then go through each property with them through the Zoom call. And they can take as much time as they want without worrying about bandwidth or other issues that they have.
I love that.
Works brilliantly, right?
I love that.
And when we get in front of a stage, like I've been in front of up to 1,500 agents out in Northern California, an association event. You do something like that and show them this kind of tech, it just blows them away. Most agents have no clue that you can do this kind of stuff. Okay. But it's integrated with our system in this way. So it makes it so exciting for them to be able to not only learn about it, but know how to do it. And that's where most agents fail, is they get great ideas, but they have no idea how to implement it.
Nice. And
then on these others, just really quick, there's the open house weekend. Here's all the price reduced listings in the Wasatch Front. There's 4,656 properties for sale in the Wasatch Front that have price reductions. And then we tell them, because we have a lot of people that want to bargain shop right now, looking for a great price on a new home, check out these reduced price listings and I'll help you negotiate an even better offer. So we have ads that go out there on social media telling people how to get better deals on homes. They click on them, come to this page, they click on this, link. I like this house. I schedule a tour. The funnel is perfect because it's not about self-promoting agents. It's not about driving hard sells. It's about giving people exactly what they want based on a very clean and easy way to get it.
So to have all of this, like with all the features, what is the monthly cost for the platform, and what is the required cost to see results for ad costs monthly?
It's $249 a month. We give them everything. If you try to buy what we have from Lofty, they charge $400. So we're giving it to them cheaper than they can buy at retail from Lofty with all of our build-ins. So that's the monthly fee. As far as what they are willing to pay, obviously, every market's different. Every person's social media presence is different. So it's hard to give I can tell them what works for me, but we'll spend about, if you spend about $200 to $300 a month on these Facebook ads, and if you put them as ads, like a lot of agents just put posts out there, Facebook and Instagram posts, those don't do anything because right. Facebook and Instagram are for-profit, advertising platforms. You don't pay, you don't get,
Facebook
results.
ads. So if you did $250 a month on the cost for the platform and $500 a month on Facebook ads, you'd start to see some
you'll probably get 2 to 3 good leads that turn into clients every month. Easy on that.
And then once you're set up on the system, is there some like setup or instruction, or is it all DIY based on your coaching?
No, it's actually, we have the coaching that's online, so they can watch video step by step with modules, kind of like what you guys have set up through school. We're actually going to move to school to make it easier, but I can show you what that looks like. But it tells them, okay, so you get a new listing, and we have, like I said, I have a book out there. We just published the new book. They can even follow it in the book. So we have online courses, live courses, and the book, and all 3 of those give them the step-by-step instructions they need to make this happen. So, yeah, but it is a lot easier with the system that we didn't have before. Like, for example, the advertisements we do for listings, and in my opinion, if they get a listing and they advertise it the way we show them, they never have to do any other advertising. They do 6 ads over a week before their open house. We call it the grand open house. They'll get 50, 60 plus people at the open house. They'll get 3 or 4 more deals from that, and it just keeps snowballing. That's cool. And we teach them how to do that.
And then when the leads come in, they're all coming through the app on your phone so that you're not having to like manually log into the system to respond.
Yeah, you can get the app on your phone. You can get it on your computer if you want, on the login. You can get push notifications. We even set it up through smart plans to tell you what to say, what to do. Like they even get the script. When it say you've got a new lead, it's a buyer lead looking in this area. It'll tell them to click here, and then here's what you say to them when you call them up if they want that level of support.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
And then just so really quick, here's all the $1 million listings in the Wasatch Front. So we have all these landing pages that make it give people a reason to click on it from social media, that land on it, that get them to, of course, want to look at the property. Here's all the new builds offering concessions.
Mike, you're directly sponsored under Lars.
Yes.
So if I wanted to recruit somebody and put them under you, they would get this for free.
They would get all the coaching and training. They would pay $249 for the system because we can't get around that. That's
okay.
Part of the Captivate. However, we were going to sell the system for we actually still have it up there for $497 a month, because that's really what it should be sold for with everything they get, because that's what they're basically almost paying for with Lofty. If they come in on EXP, we're giving it to them for $249. So they get
it for $249 so I can try it for myself.
You sure can. We'll set you up as soon as you want. Braden will be the one to walk you through it, and we'll give you
just because I want to go through the process, and then I can, help my people. I'm looking for something that I can believe in, that's going to help people produce. That's like a done for you system, because we all know they struggle to kind of like set these things up. So I think it's sexy, man. I like what you guys have done. I just want to see how it works, and then if I can have it working for me, it'll help me get it to work for other people.
Yeah. And we would love feedback from you and Lars to help us to know how to do it even better. Like, those 12 levers that he has for lead gen.
Yeah.
I want to incorporate those into the back end of this system, so that people that are following that, they don't have to build it out. Like, we can build in, what smart plans are. Probably you've heard of that within the back end. That basically we can send reminders and sequences or surveys, they call them, but basically steps or tasks for anything. And we can build it out any way that makes sense for whatever process people are following.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll keep going. I'll move forward. I will tell you that their CMA builder is the best I've ever seen. It's digital, and I'll show you that in a second on the back end. But
yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. So we have a page here for selling. So, time to sell your home. They put in their address. The sequence that it goes through and the information it gives them is the best I've ever seen of any. Like, KV Core doesn't even come close to what Lofty's created for this. And I'll show you that in just a minute on the digital side of it. But then, of course, we're capturing their information, or we're capturing their interest, which hopefully gets us their information when it comes to the reasons we beat them. So this is part of Captivate. We talk about 3D tours, drone footage, promoting the area. We actually teach our agents how to interview neighbors and talk about why the neighborhood is so great as part of their advertising for a property that they have for sale, and to get people to come to the open house. So we talk about that, and then how to Facebook and Instagram and YouTube advertise those properties. And then it ties into the single property website as a landing page. And we have it tied into Canva, so that every agent gets their own 16-page guide of what it means to be a real estate mastery, home listing services, home buying services. They can put their own reviews in here. They'll put their own picture, of course, and their colors and branding, but it talks about, staging, advertising, grand open house, negotiating buyer offers, the home purchase workflow. They get everything without having to create it themselves from scratch. And then we show them, you probably know about this with your 3D tours, but a lot of agents don't. They don't know that they can turn furniture on and off. They don't know that they can measure spaces. They don't know that they can walk up and down the stairs. So we showcase that.
I didn't know you could turn furniture on and off. That's awesome.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, you can go through a house and just turn the furniture on and off.
I haven't sold real estate since 2015. So
yeah, things have changed quite a bit since then. Yeah, you can actually have a staged house, go through it with a Matterport, and we use our little Insta360 camera for that. And there's one button, and you can click it, and it takes all the furniture out, and then clicks it again, it puts it all back in. It looks real. It's an AI. It's crazy. And then it also lets you measure space. You can measure from the floor plan, or measure from the room itself, any space you want, or any part of the space.
And none of this stuff, to get all this stuff in there, is super taxing or complicated, right? Once you know how to do it.
Yeah, you actually hire a company to go do it for you, but then it incorporates it into the system that advertises it for you.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go. Oh, one more thing I want to show you on this end, because it's pretty cool. We even created a home maintenance campaign where basically, like, fall's coming up, and you'll have to, of course, do it for every region. So we haven't quite put all these together yet, because we haven't attracted a lot of people from different, like Florida's different, of course, than Utah and things like that. But like for this area during September, we give them 2 things they should do every single month. And it goes out as an email, and then it gives them DIY videos on how to do it. And then we tell our agents, don't just use the ones we have here, which you can, and it plays right here, right? But we tell them, call your HVAC guy, because you should have an HVAC contractor, come over and do a video with him and have him show you how he does a tune-up. And now you're in the video with them, and make sure all your videos, but we've done the research to find out what the 2 things you should do every single month are with maintaining a home. So much better than, you know, your monthly newsletter with cookie recipes and, you know, that kind of stuff, or the market stuff. It's, people care about this stuff and they respond to it.
That's awesome.
Okay. Then on the back end, are we good on time?
I need to clean my chimney.
Yeah. So, oh, do I have to log in? Hold on a sec. Usually just lets me in. Great. Sorry about this. Happens every now and then.
Take your time. I'm just texting Lars and telling him how sexy this stuff is.
Yeah, it hasn't sent me the text yet. Yeah, let me go. Oh, there it is. Okay. So on the back end, there's so much here to show you, but I'll show you the key things.
Okay.
So you have all your people, right?
Yep.
We created our own our pipeline. So basically, people are designated in 3 primary ways that we teach it: segments, lead type, and pipeline step. Basically, a segment is what kind of person they are. The lead type is what they want, and the pipeline step is where they are in the life cycle. And as long as they designate them correctly, then they're going to be, the system and the AI can help give the right message to the right person at the right time. Right. And that's the key to this whole thing. And so I'll go into Sheila's right here. The cool thing is that you go in here, I can see everything that Sheila has interacted with. You know, from the moment this came from an UpNest lead, right? And it's kind of funny. I pay UpNest for lead source because we just wanted to test it. We've only had them for, I don't know, 5 or 6 months now. And the UpNest rep told me we are the highest converting agents that they've ever that they have on their system. And this
and your AI is converting it.
Well, yeah, we're converting at a higher level, a combination of AI, but it's mainly we teach them what's called the $20,000 listing presentation. We have a listing presentation that beats out every listing presentation out there. Shows agents exactly what to do. It has the they bring their Oculus goggles. It's a knockout presentation, and it's easier to win the deal. So anyway, this shows all the activity. So it shows you what is going on. Like Sheila opened this email. How much equity do you really have? So she's taking a look at that. I'll show you where that comes from. If AI is involved on this one, she's just a seller lead. So she's not getting buyer stuff. So it's not asking her a lot of questions because she's already under contract. But in the engagement, I have the ability to create a market snapshot, a market report, a home report, and then a seller report. And then over here, you have the CMA.
And that's proprietary pieces of Lofty, or are you bringing in other tools to make that happen?
The only other tool that Lofty brought in, but it's integrated, fully integrated the system, is the market report, or sorry, the home report. And that's coming from CoreLogic or Black Knight. I can't remember which system it's coming from. It's kind of like a HomeBot, but it's proprietary to the system. So it looks like this. Here, I'll show you. So they get this email that says, you know, your estimated value is this, your home equity is this, view your personal report. And then if they click on it, she gets a report like this, right? And you've seen stuff like this before, where it's giving her this information. Whether or not it's perfectly accurate is not even relevant. I have to teach agents that all the time. You're getting engagement, and now you can talk to them. You're the expert. You tell them that, yeah, it's probably 590. Great. But this is where it's giving you a starting point, right? And so it gives them all this information. But this is the cool thing. It shows them other homes recently sold nearby that are equivalent to them. But instead of it just being a picture with a number, they can click on this and they can literally, well, they have to register. I haven't signed in or anything. They can actually go through the property with that. Since I'm not logged in as her, it's doing that. But then it shows them what their current mortgage is, how much they paid in interest and principal, how they can leverage it. It's a pretty cool system. And then let's pull this out. Wait till you see this CMA builder. I'm going to do a send to CMA. So with AI, it just built it. So the CMA is done.
Jeez.
2 seconds, right? Now, if I can customize it, I can adjust comps. But if I just go here to, or actually I'll hit adjust comps. So here's it showing what it's pulling. It used the AI. So it's a VOW connection, not just IDX. You know the difference there. So the VOW has the sold data. So a lot of these systems.
Are you in non-disclosure state in Utah?
Yep, we are.
Yeah, we are too in Bozeman. That's a weird thing for me to wrap my head around coming from North Carolina.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so if you don't have sold data, you're screwed because you really don't know what's actually being sold. It's like going on eBay and trying to find out what something's worth when it hasn't sold yet, right? So this is all your sold data. So it's pulling all these sold listings. Then it comes down here and it'll find the pending ones. And then you come all the way to the bottom and it finds all the active ones, right? Nice. And then AI is generating what they think is most relevant to this property by itself. I usually just send it out. I don't even care. I just let them take a look at it. But some people want to adjust it. If you want to adjust it, you can look at the selections here and go in and
sick that you have the ability to remove one though if you want. That's amazing.
Oh, you sure can. You just delete it. You just uncheck it if you want. It's not there anymore. Or you can come in here and delete it off of that list that you want.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then not only can you do that, but once you select it, you can come down. Oh, I'll have to go continue. I can come over here. It gives me, which is really, I love this, a low, mid, and high range. So it's not giving you just one number like most systems do. I can even put net sheets together built into it. So I can do, we're going to charge 2.5% because, that's what we do out here. We charge 2.5%. If there's a buyer commission, we want to put that in. You can put your title fees and property. You can make it as much as you want or just leave it. I usually don't put all this into it unless they want to have a conversation, obviously. And then I can come in here. I can, it shows me days on the market. I can add remarks and I can make adjustments to every single one of the listings to make it more, precise. But even if I don't do that, I can come up here and change these numbers to whatever I want. So I have full flexibility on this. Most agents are coming.
Most of them you can't. You're locked and you're like, oh, this data's crap. Therefore, I'm not going to use it anymore.
Exactly. And then most agents come into a listing presentation with a printed PDF and a black and white picture and a whole bunch of text that no one looks at. And they just get pissed that their house should be worth more than what it's saying there. And the agent's trying to get them down. They're trying to get you up. And it's just a stupid game that we play. This takes that whole gamemanship out of it because now they're getting really good quality information, but wait till you see how it's sent. So I'm going to continue this and then I'm going to confirm. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you what this looks like. It is nuts. So you get this analysis, which comes digitally. So I don't send this now. I don't print this.
Yeah.
The reason I want it digital is because now it's showing the houses that it's comparing it to, and it shows them where they are on the map. They can literally click on the house and go through it on my website and look at all the pictures. What makes this so amazing is that you get a client that thinks their house is worth $600,000 and they start clicking through a house that is comparing it that's only, 509, for example. And they start looking at like, oh, my house doesn't look this nice, or it's about the same. It's basically without you having to convince them their house isn't worth as much, they can see it and they can interact with it. So it's so cool. And then it gives them, of course, their estimated market value. If there is a picture of their property, it would put it here, but you can add it if you want. And this is just a generic one it's showing there, but that's what this system does. So you have your smart plans.
If they go back to it in 30 days, is it a live document that updates with the active as you go or no?
That's a good question. I'll have to find that out, but I do think it is live because when you click on it, it goes to your page, and it is a digital showing. So if it goes,
it would just be really cool because then, all right, every time you have a closing, you set them up on that CMA, and then they can go back and review their value of their investment at any time.
Well, that is done through the home report. So the CMA is really when they want more precise information, when they're looking for that time at the point of listing. This home report, they get every month. They don't have to do any every single month that comes out. Hey, here's your home report. We get 126% total open rate and an 86% open rate. So open rate is the largest open rate we get of anything we send out from this. The 126 is because they open up multiple times. And every time they open it, it shows up in the activities. And then if I come back over here to my people, I can look at lead score and last touch for my power hour. And I know exactly who to call and what, like this says that Chandra Miller 2 days ago looked at, let's see what she looked at. So it's okay. Sandra viewed this property. So it's showing me the property she looked at. It put her at the top of my list because she's engaged. I can look at this property, get some information. Then I can give her a call and say, hey, Sandra, I noticed you've been looking at this property, you know, in Lehigh, you know, for 314. That's a really great deal. When do you want to go look at it? And then she's like, well, I have some questions. And all of a sudden you're in a position of service, giving people information that they already said they wanted because they've engaged with it without having to call up people randomly and say, hey, I'm wondering if you'd like anything that you've seen or, you know, what you want. It basically puts the agent in a position of service instead of a sales position.
Yeah, I get it. I like it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, last thing I'll show you interaction.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
So if I've paid for the IDX part of Lofty because they charge extra for that at EXP, there's no contract, right? I could just cancel that.
Well, if you're going to do this with us, you get the whole thing. So what EXP is doing is they've got
That's what I'm saying. Can I cancel that with them and do this with you?
Exactly. Yeah. And we've had a lot of people from Lars do that. We just move all their stuff over and it just comes into the system.
Yeah, I got nothing.
John, can I ask you before we make this decision, have you updated the database? Have you uploaded your database?
No.
So you haven't done, okay. So I would just say cancel it and then we'll start you a whole new system because when they transfer accounts, it takes a long time.
Yeah, I got nothing in there. It's just, I can just cancel it.
Okay. Yeah. And what they're giving you is basically it's a very watered down version of a few of the components that this has, but every time you click on something, it wants you to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right. Ours has it all included. If you were to pay for everything, even with your Lofty that you get from EXP, if you were to pay for everything that we have, it would cost you over $400 a month.
Okay, cool.
And then you get the AI component that goes with it. You get all the marketing. So basically, you remember I told you about those ads. If you want to do a listing blast, you can actually come in here. Let's say you have a listing. Like this one, we spent $221 to advertise the listing. We got 3,109 impressions from the ad itself, not on all, but from the ad. 104 clicks. We got 10 people's name, number, phone number, and ad or everything, right? They had to give us all their information. So $22 cost per lead.
Cost per lead to market something you got to market anyway. So that's awesome.
Exactly. And we're promising, the client that we're going to market their site, but we're getting 2 to 3 deals out of every listing. So that's what we're trying to teach our agents. You get a listing and advertise the listing, and then you get another listing, advertise that, and you can get buyers through that. So it's really the only advertising you need to do.
I like it.
Yeah. And then we do, of course, have
and the $249 a month gets me access to the coaching that we talked about and the $20,000 listing presentation and all that.
Everything. Yep.
Sweet. What's your coaching platform currently?
The platform itself.
Like, how are you hosting your training, your videos?
Oh, we have it on LearnDash.
Okay.
So you go to it's captivateagent.com and you go through LearnDash. We're going to move it all over to school because we liked what Lars has done in school.
Yeah, it's a good platform.
Yeah, so we'll have it so that all of our people can toggle between his and ours and get both of them. And
nice.
So we're going to go move it over to that. It's going to take us a little while.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, Mike, that you're like that close to me with Lars because, if I have somebody that I want to promote all of this to, I can just be like, all right, well, I'm going to put you under Mike and I can still keep the frontline agent as a FLQA status and put them under you, but you're not so far removed that it doesn't make sense for me to do that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It helps you and it helps Lars and helps us.
Yeah. So we get a good working relationship.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's a good quick overview. Lots of other things available here, but as you go through it, we'd love your feedback and what you like, what we could change and do better. we're not quite a year into our new company, and using this is probably about 6 months now. So there's still a lot of opportunity for us to build and grow on this.
And I got some experience with this kind of stuff, though, albeit a little bit dated, but I was an original investor and co-founder of Commissions Inc. So I was pretty involved in the build out process of that platform and learned a lot in the process.
Sweet. Yeah. I think getting feedback from you and Lars, but also from your people that you bring on and others that are trying to do what every agent's trying to do, just generate more business, get through the deal and have a life.
Nice.
And we're really trying to do that, and would love to help bring you in and promote you and what you're doing, what Lars is doing, and just make a nice community out of this.
Are you guys going to be at any of the upcoming events? Like, are you going to the thing in Scottsdale next week?
Yeah. Jeff and I are going to be there next week.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll see you.
Yeah.
Nice. Looking forward to it. All right, Braden, you're going to be my guy. We'll get this thing going.
Okay. Sounds
Sweet.
good.
I appreciate the time, guys, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah. Likewise. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Have a good one.